Good afternoon once again, and welcome to our webinar on writing development plans for the new academic year. Today, we're looking at how we can facilitate the writing of your development plans, including having a strategic focus and how it can be incorporated into your appraisal and professional development processes. This is part of a series of webinars that we're running to highlight some of the key issues facing education, new productive practices, and an opportunity to display some of the solutions that we have available. Okay, for those of you that don't already know me, my name is Damien Roberts. I'm one of the directors and co-founders of Deventio Education. We're based in Derby in the UK, and we're an education-focused software house, which is primarily responsible for developing SchoolIP. We've been in business since 2006, and we now work with thousands of schools, colleges, and educational institutions across the globe. I've shared my contact details here, and please do get in touch if you want further information. There are also links here to our social media channels. We pride ourselves on keeping these updated with the latest information, so please join the conversation, follow, like, and share. So what are we going to discuss today? Well, the presentation is split into three parts and doesn't just include slides, but an interactive look at our whole school or college improvement tool, SchoolIP or CollegeiP. Firstly, we'll discuss what is development planning, what do they do for schools and colleges. Secondly, we'll introduce why this planning is important to a school or college. And finally, we'll show you how you can write your development plans directly into the IP suite. So on to our first section on what is development planning. Whether you call it the development plan, the improvement plan, the raising attainment plan, or academy improvement plan, it goes by many names, but typically it's a document that is centrally available to be used by senior and curriculum leaders, which is utilized to identify strategic objectives for improvement. The plan may cover a single year, or alternatively, it may cover a 3 to 5 year period. But what should the plan do? Well, it should outline the establishment's values and define the key areas to target for improvement. It should outline the resourcing too, in terms of who is going to do what and by when. And the plan should include long-term goals or targets in addition to monitoring milestones to check for updates on progress and to make sure that activities are on track. So on to the next step in our presentation. Why is development planning important and why do we need to plan? The development plan is important because it outlines a strategic roadmap for improvement, which aligns the activities with the priorities of the organisation. It should be visible to and accessible to all key staff to keep them focused on their activities. It's also invaluable as a repository for evidence of school or college improvement when reporting to inspection teams like Ofsted. It's important to be able to show how you've been trying to implement improvement and drive change and illustrate the impact this activity has had on the outcomes for pupils or students. So how can your development plans be written in the IP suite? So rather than continue with the presentation slides, let's dive right in and take a look. So here we are inside the SchoolIP system. It's a browser-based system, so you can log in from any browser anywhere. As long as you have an internet connection, you can gain access to your school and college improvement. And inside here, we have a section on our development planning on the left-hand side. So if I click on development plan there. Now, the development plan within SchoolIP or CollegeiP is split into 3 levels. At the very top of your plan, I scroll to the bottom, you can identify a series of priorities. Now, these are typically your key areas for improvement that you may have arrived at through a recent inspection, or you've arrived at these through your own self-evaluation within the school or college. And you can define the priorities for your organisation. And then these priorities will feed into not only our performance management targets that we might set for staff, but also into our development plan to inform the planning for the coming year as well. So you define a list of your priorities for your organization. Then we set about identifying a number of objectives. So here we can add objectives into the system, and these objectives basically can be linked to the whole school or the whole college. So it can be part of your whole school improvement, or it could be part of your curriculum area planning. So I've got objectives here that are identified for English. Now you can detail on the objective, and you can detail the performance criteria, the success criteria for this particular objective. And then if I click on one of those objectives, you can break it down then into a number of activities or tasks. So the idea here is that you can identify activities or tasks that need to be completed in terms of your school improvement. Now we can assign these to key staff within the organization, and then these staff members will get an email reminder sent to your normal school or college email address. So you're getting email reminders and notifications informing you of your obligations on the school or college improvement plan. And then behind these activities, you can actually illustrate evidence. You can upload files, photographs, videos, anything that you think is good evidence that supports your development planning in this area. And equally, you can also link these activities back to your self-evaluation. So again, if you feel there's good evidence in here for maybe aspects where you're improving the quality of education, then you can link that to the appropriate section on the self-evaluation or self-assessment, and then identify that evidence moving forward. So the plan then becomes a living, breathing document. So we can see the donut here informing us of the current status of all of the activities on the plan, whether they're not started, in progress, completed, or not achieved during the current cycle. And I can set the dates, so I can filter this down to a particular term or to a year, or even be looking at a 3 or 5 year plan and the activities that are involved. Now, at any point, it's key that we want to perhaps get access to a printable document in terms of a development plan, because we'll share this with key stakeholders like governors. So here at the top, I can click the report button, and this will produce a strategic plan where we can identify the priorities, the objectives, and the success criteria for this year. But equally, I can then delve down a little bit deeper into an action plan. And this will then illustrate further detail in terms of the activities, in terms of the monitoring, the review, and the outcome of those processes. So all of your development plans are held within one central system. You're getting email notifications that are sent to staff to inform them of their obligations. And then you're able to have a nice printable document that you can share with other key stakeholders. And we're finding that schools and colleges are using this for their whole school, whole college improvement plan, as well as their curriculum areas. So you can have curriculum area planning in here as well. And more, we're seeing things like governors' action plans are going in here as well, so that all of the information is held centrally within this system. So a summary of the key points. The IP suite supports strategic whole school and college and curriculum area planning. And how does this work? Well, you can define your whole school or college priorities. You can define objectives in there. Basically make sure that they are SMART objectives. They can be establishment-wide, or they can be curriculum-focused. And then you can break down these objectives into activities, which you can assign to key staff, and then you can monitor progress of those in real time using those email notifications as well. So let's talk pricing. Well, the IP suite is based on the pricing is based on the size of your institution, and the prices range from £595 to £2,985. And that includes not just the development plan that you've just seen, but the self-evaluation aspect and also the staff professional development and appraisal module too. Now, free trials are available, so please do ask. We can set you up with a free trial, and also we work with multi-academy trusts and groups, college groups, and you can access the software free of charge in order to trial it for your group, and it's free indefinitely for the central team. So if you're interested in finding out more, you can always book a further demonstration by scanning the QR code here. You can book an online demonstration at a date or a time to suit you. Or if you'd prefer, you can contact us using the details here. So thanks for watching. And if you'd like to book a demonstration, simply scan the QR code. Thank you very much and hope to see you in the future.